Understanding the brain drain. Immigration can be a double-edged sword when it comes to human resources and talent acquisition. How does one incorporate proactive strategies given this reality? Moderated by Megan Easey, Elevate. Ivan Filletti, Gaming Malta. Sergio Muscat, Oxygia. Jonathan Shaw, SiGMA.
Welcome, everybody. And thank you, gentlemen, for joining us today. We're going to be covering a really important topic that affects us all. And we're talking about the brain drain of talent, and certainly in iGaming, how that affects us all. So maybe we could start just by, Ivan, if you could tell us, how would you define the brain drain itself?
Okay. I wouldn't really talk about defining a brain drain. I think it's also a question of, as I mentioned before, of how to continue making the industry exciting and relevant, also for the talent working within the sector. Understandably, more than the drain, I think it's also a case where we are working in a jurisdiction where there is full employment. Okay, which that brings a challenge in itself also. And so we need to look at ways of how to continue and attracting talent to Malta and how to make that work. Okay, one experience which we have is with Gaming Malta is we have incorporated an institute called the European Gaming Institute of Malta, which is EGAM. Okay, that is basically run by MCAST. And where for the very first time, there's actually a level 3 diploma program, fully academically accredited by MCAST, okay, introducing the sector to, introducing this talent to the sector. All right, so really, it's really catching them young also, because they're 17 and 18-year-olds. So hopefully that will also be a tangible way of not just the brain drain, but also supplying a pipeline, an effective talent pipeline to the industry.
Absolutely, and I think one of the issues that we face is it's great to get people on board, it's great to get the talent from abroad. The issue is, how does that affect the countries from where these people are coming into Malta? But also in the last 12 years, certainly that I've observed, there's been some real successes with junior Maltese people coming into the industry who are now extremely senior. So in terms of a brain drain in the Maltese context, through education, we can keep our Maltese people in Malta. But what are some of the challenges do you find, Sergio, in your area specifically, where losing talent impacts your business?
Yeah, I mean, I think that basically we're attracting a lot of foreigners to Malta, and that is great. That has created a very multicultural community on the island. I have seen a huge difference in the last 15 years, basically, in you know, how Malta is seen and so on. I think that, you know, one of the things that we tend to underestimate is culture shock. We promote Malta as, you know, the sunny island, you know, beaches and you know, relaxed lifestyle and so on. And you know, in a big part, it is true, but sort of seeing it from a touristic point of view or from an outside point of view, and then actually coming here and living here could be you know, a different experience. And I think that a lot of people and maybe even a lot of companies sort of they don't do enough to sort of make this transition smooth. And you know, there's the honeymoon period. You know, everyone is happy. You know, oh, I'm living in a new country. It's so great. And then, they end up being isolated, for example, in a specific area of the country. They don't really experience the country. And I think that over time that can, create a certain, disillusionment.
I think that's a very important word, because from a brain drain perspective, we have to differentiate between what do we do from a retention perspective, but also what is a brain drain for other countries, for example. Andrew, in your experience, where do you see people coming into Malta, and from which countries specifically do you see them coming in from? Which countries do you think are losing their own talent?
I think they're sector-driven. So in healthcare, you get a pattern. And in IT, in gaming, there are different sectors. But what I wanted to start off is, I think we have to position brain drain from the other extreme as well. There's drain and gain. So someone's gain is someone's loss, and vice versa, and it's also not standard in one particular sector. And secondly, we can see brain drain on 3 different levels. There's the company level. A company and organization can have brain drain, and they go to other companies, so it's gain. And this happens sometimes because leadership is not right, like how I spoke before, the environment is not right. So even not having the right environment can create a brain drain in your own company, so that's at the micro level. Then we have within a sector. So we can have sectors which are going down, other sectors which are growing, like gaming, attracting people at the cost of other sectors within the same country.
Right.
And then we have what we call the geographical migration. So in a way, we can see migration on 3 different levels: company level, sector level, and country level. And I think there's no one glove fits all. So we need to see at what level we are discussing it to kind of really have the right strategies to address it.
Absolutely, and I think another 3 levels that are important is, are we losing talent at a junior level, a middle management level, or at a senior level? And do we prioritize one over the other? We certainly see a lot of movement in customer service, for example. A lot of attrition where people are coming in, spend the summer, 6 months, and then we lose them again over winter. Is that a drain based on losing talent and not having retention in place? Or is that a brain drain because we just lose these people completely, and even to the industry sometimes?
Yeah. Are we going format, or I can go?
Please,
yeah,
go
sure.
ahead.
All right. I think there is definitely a shortfall in people with the right management skills and people skills. And again, so what are we doing? And it is not just Malta, it's worldwide. It's with what's happened over the last years, the number of capable people to lead is a struggle to find. So we need to prepare. We need to prepare internally and groom people to take the positions.
Absolutely.
And there are strategies there where we empower people. We need more coaching rather than mentoring. Rather than telling people how to do things, we need to help them challenge and find their own path. And this is how we prepare people for the future. So that's one strategy which I want to throw in.
And I agree with you, because I think what tends to happen in gaming is we have people who have high product skill and who move through the ranks fairly quickly, sit in senior positions where they haven't had that leadership training, where they haven't had the coaching to know how to give feedback. Sergio, in your organization, have you seen any specific leadership training that happens?
Not enough, I think. In my, in the various companies that I have worked for, there have been, different efforts. I think that in reality, there are certain sort of formalized efforts sometimes, especially in larger companies, to identify talent and so on. But I am also a great believer in giving opportunities. And I think that in a way, sort of that is one of the best ways to grow people. When you have good managers who can identify good people that are working in their team, and those managers also have the ability to provide these opportunities from, higher up within the hierarchy of the company, basically.
Very good point. I think what we're talking about here is not just having opportunity to grow people, but also needing to set some standards around what someone's leadership abilities, what standard that needs to be at before they take people on into a team. Ivan, you were talking earlier about education. Gaming Malta, does it have a priority around leadership training?
Okay, so obviously what we do is, as one says, we're a non-profit organization set up by the government and by the MGA to promote Malta as a gaming sector. And what's interesting is our strategy is really changing in that regard. Okay, so from a leadership perspective, what we're seeing is that, okay, it was good that we go around the world and telling and delivering the news about Malta and what we're doing, etc. Now we feel that we should do more, because we need to address the issue within the sector of attracting talent here, and basically helping the organizations who are here also in this room today in facilitating things for them, making sure that we have the right vehicles to do that. One experience which we've had this year is we've launched a student placement program nationally, for the gaming sector, and we started it off as a pilot project. And the student placement program, what it entails is that a student applies for the program, and we pay 50% of the students' wages all throughout their internship. So it was about 40 students who took up this. We also worked with Betson on their academy and then helping there. But one of the challenges that we found was that during the summer, for example, a lot of the leadership go on holidays and vacations. So they tell us, look, we don't have much time for mentorship and mentoring the students. Okay, which that we understand. But I think the industry has to help itself a bit also. Once there are these tools available, make use of them, okay? From our side, we need to understand also that we have to be flexible. So today, a student doesn't just need to work in summer. Basically, it's easier for them also to work, throughout winter. Why not? So we're extending that also includes, the winter months. So there are a lot of all these things happening, which hopefully will help, coming back to what you're saying on the leadership side, is helping the leadership within the industry, to give them tangible solutions. Because we can talk as much as we want to, we can speak about the issues. I think now it's about time also, and we're going to intensify our efforts in that, how to bring solutions ultimately.
That's great to hear, and I think something, I think something we'd all agree on is that the agenda now is not just about brain drain in general. It looks like Malta is able to retain its talent right now. Whether that talent is retained within your company is a different topic altogether. And I think we all agree as well is that investing in those people from an education point of view, Andrew, as you pointed out, also from developing people's skills and being sure about where we're going to plug them into our business. That will declare the summary of our conversation today. I sincerely appreciate the three of you giving your input, and thank you very much.
Thank you.